Hello again. This is a short update video on the number of projects I've been currently involved in. You may remember the Bush radio, and appropriately enough it is now working of sorts, and I didn't do this by pure chance. It's actually playing Hallelujah from at the moment. Well, Hallelujah, yeah, because it is working. Not properly because there is its lack of tunability on it at the moment, so that's probably down to a local oscillator fault. Now, I haven't changed the capacitors or done any research on the local oscillator yet, but because when I tune it, it's only towards the high end of the band, and it's a fairly wide tuning band on the a very powerful station. I suggest that it might be the local oscillator working. I do need to do some resistance checks and change the capacitors on it, but that's just a quick update. But it is working, and I'm really pleased about that. And thank you for all your comments that you've sent in. But yeah, there's the thing working. Okay, so are you happy with that? Well, I am. I'm very happy with it. I'm now fully convinced that once I've got the other components replaced, we're going to have a good working Bush DAC 90 radio. Started to clean the case, but it needs a lot more work doing to it yet. Okay, before we leave that, let me just turn that down a bit. Before I leave that, just want to say I want to share with you one of my early textbooks. When I was in radio engineering and radio servicing, I had this wonderful book from G.N. Patchett. I lost my original copy. It's Radio Servicing Volume 1 edition, G.N. Patchett and B. Fozzard. Now, I lost my original edition, but I bought this one off eBay, and it just brings back so many memories. It tells you everything you need to know about demodulators, about IF, about superhets and everything else. So a brilliant book. Another one, and I can recommend it if you're just starting out in radio. Another one which is very, very good is Vintage Radios, and this one is by Tony Thompson, and it gives a lot of stuff on the restoration of radios and some basics on radio repair and radio design. Again, a very, very good book to have. So those two books. Local oscillator testing is something that we can deal with in a later video, but I need to look at voltages on the anode of the local oscillator, and I need to check to see whether it's working properly, because it is definitely a tuning fault. It's a wide range of tuning which indicates that might be the problem, because it's only working on a high thing. So let's have a quick look now at the repair I've done so far, and we'll move on to another project which I'm currently working on. So here is the repair carried out. The original power resistors in place, and I've with the repair at the top of it, and I'm quite pleased about that. The red wires, the thick wires, are well, actually it's oven wire, because it can resist fairly high temperatures around that area, and I got that off eBay. I'm quite pleased with that. And the transformer, the output transformer, is also fitted and working fine. I'll replace some other cables to the pilot light and stuff like that, just to make it because things were flaking off it. But that's the radio. It needs now more work. Capacitors need replacing underneath, and a little bit more fault finding on it. But it is, for the first time in many years, I suspect, actually working. Oh, the mains cable needs sorting as well, because you see I've got one side of the mains on this mains plug on the chassis, and the other side right down. It's an AC/DC set, so pretty lethal arrangement that, but we'll get that sorted, and I'll have a proper mains lead sorted. The cabinet itself, if we swing over to the cabinet, you'll see that that is beginning to be restored. There is still a lot of work to do, and I do need a replacement speaker grill for it. It's actually, this one is paper, it's not a grill. Sorry, it's material. They're, I think, quite hard to get, but I'm on the lookout for those, so if anyone can help with that, be most interested, thank you. But once again, thank you for all your comments on this, and it's far from finished, but it is working, so really, really pleased about that. Okay, well, enough of radio. I'm back down in the cellar now, and some of the other projects that are currently ongoing, and an update on a few that I've already covered. First of all, I'm still doing some vinyl restoration, and playing some records I've resurrected and cleaned, and then transferring them to other media. So that's still an ongoing project. Also, an update on the Enigma machine. I've had one or two questions about the box that I put it in. So just going to do a little bit on that, and we'll have a bit of a closer look at it. As I explained in the first video, this box is just a very simple little box. I bought it from Poundland, and it had nuts and bolts in it. Cut out a few of the center partitions and fitted the board, which is part of the kit. Just put a screw in there to hold it. Fitted an LED and an on-off switch here. Now, when I turn it on now, you'll get an exclamation mark come up, which means that there's no keyboard connected. If ever there's an error, you get that. Now, the idea of this box was to make it very simple and portable, because I do demonstrations of the machine, and two exactly the same. Of course, there's no reason at all why you shouldn't put all this in a larger box, make it much more fancy and flashier, and put some logos on and emulate more the original machine, maybe in a wooden box. But this is the simplest way of doing it. I think that box, well, I bought it in Poundland, so guess how much it cost? It cost £1. So that's just an update on the box that I put the Enigma machine in. If you want to know more details about this, look at my video on the Enigma machine. And the last update is on the BBC Micro. You remember last time when I showed it, when I talked about the Micro and the little SSD card that I fitted to it, you realized, or you saw, that the picture on my CRT was terrible because it was an RF picture. What I've been able to do, what I've bought since, is an RGB cable, so now everything is much nicer to work with and to use. So that is a much better picture, and everything works much better on here now. So we can do all sorts of stuff here, and it's a much better picture to watch, and also a much better picture to actually watch games on. Well, that's about it for the update on the projects I'm currently working on. Thank you to all those who have subscribed to my channel, and all those people who watch it. I will be back quite shortly. In fact, now it's the 29th of November, so my next video will be early December, and that will maybe have a bit more of a Christmas theme to it, and maybe a fresh project. But obviously the bush has to be finished, and there's other items in the pipeline. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care.